Hello and a very happy Children's Day to all the amazing kids out there. One virtue which makes us amazing is being considerate and empathetic towards others. Consider your actions and their consequences before making any decision. Today's news highlights are: Padma Awards 2021 announced. Prime Minister Modi launches Green Grids initiative at International Solar Alliance. Israeli startup develops carbon-catching balloons. Treeless desert in Cameroon turned into a thriving forest. Amazon gearing to launch a satellite constellation. Australian mission to find water on moon. Max Verstappen wins Mexican Grand Prix. Team India wins doubles title at World Table Tennis Contender in Slovenia. And the ever so exciting F2 segment. Let us begin with news from our country.
Last week, President Ram Nath Kovind conferred 141 Padma 2020 awards and 119 Padma 2021 awards to the esteemed recipients. The Padma Awards are one of the highest civilian honors granted by the Government of India. They are awarded to recognize the highest level of public and social contribution by people from across disciplines. These awards are divided into three categories: the Padma Vibhushan for exceptional and distinguished service, the Padma Bhushan for distinguished service of high order, and the Padma Shri for distinguished service. The ceremony was held after a gap of a year, as last year's ceremony was cancelled due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Thus, shuttler PV Sindhu received the Padma Bhushan 2020 during this year's gala event. Igraspers, did you know that the Padma Awards nominations are open to public? So, who would you like to nominate for next year's Padma Awards? Share your suggestions in the comment section below.
Igraspers, during the World Leaders Summit, the 26th Conference of Parties, held in Glasgow last week, Prime Minister Narendra Modi launched the Green Grids Initiative. The Green Grids Initiative, One Sun, One World, One Grid, is part of the International Solar Alliance, or the ISA, which consists of 80 nations that is steered by 5 nations, including India, US, UK, France, and Australia. The aim of this alliance is to tackle climate change by creating interconnected solar-powered grids and technology that maximizes the use of solar energy across the globe. Led by India and the United Kingdoms, the Green Grids Initiative is also aligned with the United Nations Sustainable Development Programme and is bound not to just reduce carbon emissions, but also generate millions of green jobs across the globe. International collaboration for green energy is truly revolutionary, isn't it?
Igraasp, an Israeli startup company, is thinking outside the box in reducing carbon emissions from the atmosphere. High Hope Labs has developed a balloon that captures and extracts carbon from higher altitudes where carbon freezes. At about 15 kilometers up in the air, the temperatures are close to 80 degrees Celsius. At these temperatures, carbon solidifies. The carbon capture system consists of a balloon with a box attached to its base. It captures solidified carbon, separates the air from the collected carbon, and then brings it back to the Earth's surface. In doing so, it achieves 2 goals. It reduces the cost of removing a ton of carbon a day down to $100, and it requires much less energy. Now, this is truly innovative. What are your thoughts? Share your views in the comment section below.
A dry, dusty and treeless region of Minabao, Cameroon in Central Africa was badly affected by climate change. The arrival of refugees from neighboring Nigeria hastened the desertification process as they cut down surrounding trees for cooking. However, an ambitious reforestation drive launched by UN Refugee Agency and the Lutheran World Federation in 2018 converted the desert into a thriving forest. They trained 70,000 refugees and local communities on giving seedlings best chance of survival in a harsh environment. Until now, over 100 hectares, which is equal to 250 football fields of severely degraded land, had been reforested, recording 90% survival rates of fruit trees, acacias, cashews, moringas, medicinal trees, and much more.
Last week, Amazon filed a request to launch 2 experimental satellites in lower Earth orbit. The experiment is a part of the company's mega satellite internet project named Kuiper. The experimental satellites are planned for launch late next year. Post-testing, Kuiper will aim to launch a satellite constellation of 3,236 satellites in the lower Earth orbit over a period of 10 years. These satellites will provide low latency or reduced delay internet access to regions with minimal to no internet access. The project is comparable to SpaceX's Starlink project, which plans to launch a constellation consisting of 12,000 satellites. While these projects are set to improve communication technology on our planet, they also pose a severe threat of collision with any new satellites or space missions in the future and will add to the space debris. Astronomers also object that these mega constellations will hinder the study of the night sky. What do you think about these mega satellite constellations, Igraaspers? Share your views in the comment section below.
Australia is gearing up to launch a lunar space rover mission by mid-2024 to find water on our natural satellite. The project is being planned by Australia, Canada, and University of Sydney. If successful, it will be the first Australian-made rover to make it to Moon. The rover's robotic arm will collect lunar soil. Its high-resolution cameras and haptic sensors will transmit photographs and data of lunar soil back to mission control. The main aim of this rover will be to understand ways of extracting water from the soil and to find water-abundant regions on Moon. This mission is crucial, as once a source of water is found, Moon will serve as a base for future manned missions. Technically too, this is an important mission and the rover will need to withstand extreme weather conditions on Moon while being light enough to accomplish complex goals such as collecting and assessing samples. Space technology is continuously evolving. Fascinating, isn't it?
Red Bull's Max Verstappen once again finished first in this week's Mexican Grand Prix, with him extending his lead over defending champion Lewis Hamilton by 19 points. Verstappen's teammate Sergio Perez was held back by Lewis Hamilton and finished third. With only 4 races left, Hamilton will have to execute his remaining races flawlessly for him to defend his title. This year's Formula One Championship has been more thrilling than ever. Wouldn't you agree, Igraaspers?
The Indian doubles team, comprising of Manika Batra and Archana Kamath, played fantastically well to win the doubles title at the World Table Tennis Contender being held in Slovenia. The Indian duo beat the 4th-seeded Puerto Rican pair in just 25 minutes, winning the 3 games 11-3, 11-8, 12-10. We wish the team the heartiest of congratulations and hope to see similar victories like this in the future.
Rahul Dravid has been appointed the head coach of the Indian men's cricket team. Dravid will be succeeding Ravi Shastri and will take the helm for the boys in blue after the T20 World Cup. His work will be cut out for him as his first series in charge will be of New Zealand's tour of India starting on November 17th. We wish Rahul Dravid the best of luck and hope he can carry this supremely talented Indian team to new heights.
BC Bus or Bike Bus is the new way to commute to school in the city of Barcelona, Spain. Hundreds of children ride bikes, scooters and even skate to school in the middle of the street. The BC Bus operates similar to the way a school bus does with 3 stops, where more riders join in. Parents join in too. Now even police vehicles have started to escort the group, with officers travelling in the front, back and on the sides of the group. It all began in the Eixample district of Barcelona in September, with just 5 families to fight for a safer, more environmentally friendly way for their kids to get to school. Way to go, Barcelona! You have definitely set an example for the rest of the world.
Not only traveling to space is now a reality, but having a meal there too. The International Space Station hosted a taco party for astronauts recently, celebrating the first harvest of chili peppers to ever grow in space. The crew finally had the chance to taste test the peppers with space tacos. The blonde experiment was initially started on the space station in July this year. It is believed that growing and harvesting chili peppers in space has been one of the most challenging station plant experiments till date. Some of the peppers will be sent back to Earth for further analysis.
The students of Navi Mumbai Municipal Corporation Schools in Navi Mumbai will be participating in the Zero Plastic Start Swimming campaign. Students of class 2 to class 10 will insert non-degradable plastic waste like wrappers and wafer packets in 1 litre bottles. Schools with the highest collection of plastic will be rewarded. The NMMC have started implementation of a rigorous ban on plastics and extending its awareness in neighbourhoods. The student with the most collection from each ward will be declared Zero Plastic Waste Ward Champion and Zero Plastic Waste Navi Mumbai Champions. Isn't it time that we all start this campaign, Igraaspers?
The word of the week is umpteen, which means many times. I have read the book umpteen times. The riddle of the week is: what runs all around a backyard yet never moves? It's a fence.
Can you guess who? This Indian independence activist was a theologian, writer, and a leader of the Indian National Congress. He was the co-founder of the Jamia Millia Islamia University in Delhi. He was independent India's first Minister of Education. Were you able to guess? It is Abul Kalam Ghulam Muhyiddin Ahmad bin Khairuddin Al-Hussaini Azad, or Maulana Azad for short. Did you know that for his contribution to the Indian education, Maulana's birthday is celebrated as the National Education Day in India?
Did you know that the Great Sphinx of Giza is regarded as the oldest known monumental sculpture in human history, inspired by a popular mythological character by the same name in Egyptian, Asian, and Greek mythology? It's the world's largest monolithic statue with a lion's body and a human's head, probably that of the great pharaoh Khafre.
Quiz time! Who made an attempt at unearthing the Great Sphinx of Giza in 1817 after it was found to be nearly buried in sand up to its shoulders? Send your answers to contact us at igraasp.com. Answer to the last week's quiz. The floating post office in India is located in Dal Lake, Srinagar. This certificate of appreciation is presented to Roshi Singh of Indraprastha Global School, Noida, for successfully participating in the weekly quiz on India's leading news capsule for tweens, Igraasp.
Dear Igraaspers, This week, let us meet our sports superstars in Goal Shot Run, short biographies of sports persons. From football to hockey, cricket to tennis, and even the Olympics, it's time to know more about your dearest sports heroes and maybe explore some new personalities. This book is a collection of illustrated biographies of sports people from all over the world, which will answer all your queries regarding sports. This is a sharp and fun to read fan guide. Do read this informative book and drop in your feedback at igraasp.com/iClub.
This brings us to the end of today's news session. As human beings, we suffer from an innate tendency to jump to conclusions, to judge people too quickly, and to pronounce them failures or heroes without due consideration. So until we meet again next week, give due consideration to others' feelings. Don't judge anyone before knowing. Consider outcomes of your actions before committing them. See you next week. Bye bye.